Hi, everyone. So my name is Dr Morrissey, and I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Civil, Structural, and Environmental Engineering. And so my research interests focus mainly on the water environment, so surface water, surface hydrology, groundwater, and more recently into kind of geothermal energy and how it relates with groundwater and hydrogeology. So I'm going to talk to you about one project, focus on that just a little bit, what the project is and what it's about. But first, just to give you a background on the surface hydrology, we have a lot of rivers and lakes in Ireland. Ireland, we get a lot of rain. We monitor them as part of a lot of European legislation where we have to report on the quality of our waters and their habitats. And we recently have the nature restoration law, which has come in. On the back of that, we have a lot of farming in Ireland, and there are two agri-environmental schemes, which I have a project we're working with to try and look at some of the measures that are going in to improve water quality, which ultimately will help us to achieve some of those objectives that we have for our rivers and lakes. So the project is funded by the Environmental Protection Agency. And we're looking at three different aspects of measures. So these measures that go in are, you could call them nature-based solutions. The idea is to try and improve the runoff from agriculture, where we've got very poorly low permeability soils that bring and wash nutrients and sediment into our rivers and lakes. It causes negative impacts, and then the ecological status is degraded. So we're looking at monitoring, so it's field-based and numerical modeling. So we're looking at monitoring in the field before these measures go in, and then during the measures, and then after the measures. So looking at what is happening in terms of improvements, hopefully, in runoff. And then the idea then is to take it and build numerical models, looking at, well, then if we scale this up, these are pilot schemes. If we do this nationally, what impact can that have for us meeting our national commitments? And then when we have these numerical models built, we can start looking at saying, well, okay, if climate change is going to change our weather and our rainfall patterns, droughts may be increasing, again, what role can these types of measures play? So the idea of the project is that it will feed into policy, national policy, and hopefully can show and provide data then that can feed into, I guess, more international types of measures that can be translated to other jurisdictions. So that's kind of the project, and it's a 4-year project. We've got some sites selected and instrumented, and now we're in the kind of baseline monitoring period. And hopefully by the end of those agri-environmental schemes, we'll be able to provide the data that's needed to feed into national policy. And these pilot schemes then can get taken up nationally and help us to achieve our commitments under the Water Framework Directive.